What is happening, my friends? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or even the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep, keeping it real. So, do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation, my friends. Look, on today's conversation, we'll be digging deep in talking about more influential individuals that has announced they will be permanently leaving the platform known as X, formerly known as Twitter, which is owned by tech giant, multi-billionaire Elon Musk. Also, later on in the program, actor Denzel Washington. He's spitting out facts, man, when it comes to politics, and I think it's something that we all need to be aware of. And I thought it was perfect timing. He's going on like this retirement tour, right? There's a few projects he still wants to participate in before he retires, but it's looking like retirement will be happening pretty soon. So he's been very vocal on certain things, not caring, not giving a you know what, and so he's I'm liking the side, Denzel. I'm liking the side. He's not so apologetic. Also later on the program, uh, many actors are praising Tyler Perry for paying them a huge amount of money when it comes to salary. Uh, even for folks who have been having long-standing careers in film, TV, and film, and they're just praising them, saying, "Wow, we're after working with Tyler Perry, I've been getting paid the most I've ever in my whole career." So I'm very fortunate, and I owe a lot of gratitude to Tyler Perry. So we'll get to talking about that later on too. And I'm curious. I want to ask you guys: would you do a 4-year getaway cruise trip? Mm? Now I love going on the cruises, but the most I've ever done is 7 days. 14 days is pushing it for me, but I've done 7 days. But now we're talking 4 years. Maybe if you're in the Navy or Marines, it's pretty simple. But 4 years, mm, it's a lot. We're going to talk a little bit more on the show. Again, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join yet another great conversation. Look, I have a huge announcement to announce later on in the show. Very honored and excited about this announcement. Also, what else do we have? I think that's about it. So, look, the Arrington Gavin Show comes to you weeknights, Monday through Fridays, available wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, all major podcast platforms, as well as on the streaming platforms of Rumble and YouTube. Our YouTube channel is R Smooth Club Media, the letter R, Smooth Club Media, as well as on Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show. And what else am I forgetting? Oh, our social media handles: Instagram, The Arrington Gavin Show; X, The Arrington Gavin Show. You can, there's so many ways. You can also check us out on our radio affiliate, WDJY 99.1 FM, straight talk out of Dallas, Georgia, Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m., as well as on WDJYFM.com. So much to impact there, my friends, and we will get it going. But before we do so, I always have to acknowledge some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, like our friends over at Ingenious Gin. That's right. If you want yourself a good, tasty beverage, look, I highly recommend Ingenious Gin. Ingenious Gin is a Black-owned, veteran-owned spirit with the unique spin of the original gin. This rose gold complexion is one spirit that I include in all of my celebratory functions and events, especially from fellowshipping just with some good friends. And I'm a bourbon and whiskey guy, and that's my main preference. But I have some friends that are gin lovers, and guess what? I'm like, well, let me try this out. I even became a gin lover. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? So it is so smooth. You can enjoy it neat. You can enjoy it on the rocks. You can even enjoy it in a cocktail. I'm telling you, this is the real deal, Holyfield. My friends, do me a favor, go visit your local Spirit or ABC stores, wherever spirits are sold. Or you can go online to www.ingeniousgin.com. Again, that's www.ingeniousgin.com. And here on the screen, if you happen to be streaming the show, at the bottom, I've provided a 20% off discount code at checkout. If you shop online, you can place that code right there and you receive 20% off your purchase. Again, you have to be 21 and over to purchase. As well as, do me a favor, my friends, I say this all the time, make sure to drink responsibly. And so, without further ado, look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You are tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your host, Arrington Gavin. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Arrington Gavin, or on our show, of course, at the Arrington Gavin Show. So do me a favor, do that right now. I appreciate it. All right, let's get it going, guys, with our tradition, our fun fact of the day. And on today's fun fact, for all you tennis lovers, I want to ask you this. Did you guys know that tennis was originally played with bare hands? Did you know? Did you know? I bet you Serena Williams didn't know that. I bet you she's the only one. Venus didn't know. I bet you Coco Gauff didn't know that. I bet you Roger Federer didn't know all that. Did you know? It's very true. It says here that tennis evolved from a 12th century French game called Jeu de Paume. Jeu de Paume, which translates to game of palm. In this game, players would hit a ball back and forth across a net using the palm of their hands. Could you imagine, first of all, if the sport of tennis was played without rackets and it was just the palm of your hand? First of all, ouch. Second of all, it would make it a lot harder. It might be actually pretty interesting because look, we got so many sports that's made with our hands. You got the slap league, okay. You got what else you got? You got pitchers, in baseball, you got to use your hands and your arm and a lot of other stuff, but mainly stuff with the palm. The only thing of the other sport I can think of using the palm is the slap league. I think that's the only one. That's the only sport I can think of. Wow. Have you ever checked out Slap League, by the way? Pretty vicious. Pretty vicious. It's a league that is owned by Dana White, who's also the founder of the UFC. Dana White, he's a very smart businessman, but that's one league, the Slap League, that I do not understand. I feel as though like a lot of people in that league has hit rough times, and it's like, hey, when I've hit that you know, that drop in my career is when I start competing in the slap league and seeing, okay, can I survive a slap? Yeah, couldn't do it, my friends. Could not do it. All right, let's get it going with our first story of the day. Look, I mentioned earlier in the program that people consistently, and I feel like it's new every day, right? It's something new every day because we're going to continue to follow up into, I mean, I guess Twitter will eventually have to really start changing some of its, or not Twitter, but X will start changing some of its ways because so many individuals, mainly people on the left, are leaving the platform that's owned by Elon Musk. So let me go ahead and already mention it to you, the fact that we have people like Don Lemon, who obviously we know, independent media journalist, famous from being the headliner of on CNN. And let's see here. Let me go ahead and bring this to the screen. Give me 1 second. Da da da. There we go. So, as you currently see, Stephen King, the famous author, is ditching a toxic X, he calls it, also joining a slew of other known public figures. I've mentioned that Jamie Lee Curtis, hold on, my friends, having a little technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hmm. Check, 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 check. Hold on, guys. We are having some technical difficulties. Oh no, we're not. Okay, it's my bad. So where was I going with? Okay, so many individuals are leaving the platform X that's owned by Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk has already been announced to be a part of the new administration under President Donald Trump, the new Trump administration. He's continued to recruit so many controversial figures, and we'll talk with that a little later on. But Elon has been a person who started off as an advocate for free speech, and now it's like, okay, you're getting a little bit, this is starting to be like a cop out, like you like an excuse for free speech, because you're saying you're for free speech, but at the end of the day we know there's a difference between free speech and hate speech. So why are you we see your, obviously, your political views now. A lot of the people who were initially banned from the platform before you owned it, you're now goody goody with them, golfing with them, flying, on Trump's plane and this and that. Like, it's all starting to turn in more of a conservative media platform. You already have True Social. You have this platform. You have so many far right conservative platforms. Um, Now, you hear me saying all this, and you're probably like, "Well, Arrington, why are you still on X?" Now, I'm a person, y'all. I am. I conversate in all groups of people, right? I'm a social butterfly. Um, I'm on X simply, again, with the power of networking. I'm not saying all of the people that are in that has X accounts that are subscribed to X, not all of them are, crazy Looney Tunes that choose to spew out hate. No, there's people that use it for their business. There's people to stay in contact. There's people that stay connected. There's people that still like to um uh um want to share what's off, what's on their mind, right? They want to, they have to get something off their chest. They use X as that platform, right? I use it to promote new episodes. I use it to share my thoughts on certain stories that I come across and things of that nature. Again, all done very professionally. Um, and I'm also a person that's continuing to grow a platform, to grow a business here. People like Jamie Lee Curtis, been there, done that, very successful. She's like, look, I don't need social media at this point. I've already grown my career where I can just say my name and boom, I have a role or I have a gig here. Don Lemon's another person. He's been in the media industry for decades, so he has quite a great career where he doesn't really have to use social media to continue to get his message across. Gabrielle Union, she's the newest celebrity to leave the platform X. Joy Reid of MSNBC. There's so many people, and not just individuals, companies. The Guardian left X. I'm trying to see any other. And here's the cool thing. So there's other obviously social media platforms that people are starting to be more mindful about and say, well, look, X is pretty toxic in my opinion. And that actually is, I'm not going to argue with that, because even the country star Jelly Roll announced that he was leaving the platform, saying it's just too toxic. And look, I've gone on X and I've seen just some people say some very hateful stuff when it comes to just personally attacking someone's appearance, uh, sh- uh, uh, showing off a video of somebody getting beaten or just verbally attacked. I'm like, why is this allowed to be entertained on social media? Right? I only look at like maybe 2 seconds and you already know, okay, this is not right. Let me get out of here. Um, so it's very unfair. Um it's very unfortunate. But Twitter at the end, I keep on saying Twitter, damn, X, formerly known as Twitter, um, has so many followers. I'm talking millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people. Some of their biggest stars, once X became that platform, more than just a social media platform, but a network. You have guys like Tucker Carlson, who started doing social media, started doing a show on X, right? He was kind of like uh um their first guinea pig to like say, okay, look, let's try and see if we can do like live shows on here. Um, so they did. It became very successful. Tucker Carlson obviously started his own media company, and he uses that platform heavily to promote his business. Tulsi Gabbard, who's now going to be a part of the Trump campaign as well, the Trump cabinet. And then you had Jim Rome, the sports analyst, a sports commentator. He's live on X and still has his radio show. He's on there. Like, it's pretty dope. Don had an opportunity to be on there, and that didn't work out. But they mentioned other alternatives, right? And so here are just a few alternatives for those who are choosing to. I think I'm gonna leave X and just again looking for another platform that's similar, just less toxic, right? So this is on the Baller Alerts social media page. It says here's 5 X alternatives with better features and less toxic. I can't even say the word toxicity. Toxicity. Yeah, there we go. Y'all, it's been a while since I've been in school, and it shows. it shows sometimes. I understand. Um, Let me go ahead and share off here are some of the alternatives. So obviously, remember when Threads first was created. Threads was started, I believe, under Meta, which is owned by Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg, who initially had, I think he had ownership in Twitter at the time. You have Mastodon, you have Blue Sky, you have Fanbase. Fanbase is a Black-owned social media platform that allows consumers to invest in, right? Which is dope because I'm big when it comes to minority businesses, and I have the app fan base. Haven't really haven't heard too much on Blue Sky. I actually just heard about this when Don Lemon made his video on social media saying he was leaving X. He had a million plus followers on X. Now I can't say it was a lot of them fans, because you do have the trolls that follow you just to continue to bash you, insult you and leave all the comments and all that other stuff. I mean, you got haters following you. Don't think all your supporters are the ones that are following you and on your social media platform. Trust and believe, you have haters that follow you there. Why? Because they don't have a life. They choose to follow someone just so they can attack and just bash them. Look, I'm pretty sure we're fortunate we have a little over. I think we have like over 8,000 followers on our Instagram page, right? Most likely, I'm pretty sure not everybody likes what I have to say, in my opinion, and are fans of mine, right? So, but hey, I believe that the majority are. So I appreciate that. So please share, continue to follow. I appreciate it. So let me go back to this. So, okay, 5 alternatives for from X. Blue Sky, I mentioned. It's a new social media platform owned by Jay Graber. Top features, decentralized control. You decide how your content works. Custom feeds. You can create your own feed or choose from 40,000 plus options. Data control, own and manage your data on your terms. Severe control. Uh, let's see, open conversations, community driven, tight knit community, ad free. Pretty dope, right? Here's a fan base apps on Google Play, owned by Isaac Hayes the third. Yes, that Isaac Hayes, um, the infamous singer, is his son. Um, top features, you get, okay, paid creators directly. I know that's right. Create and share, and then also monetize, and then ad free experience. So again, it's a great alternatives, great avenues for other, again, if you're thinking about leaving X. So trying to see here if I didn't leave off anything. Right now it's saying this Blue Sky is the one that's really growing. Says here that Blue Sky, which began as an internal project by the then CEO Jack Dorsey in 2019, was invitation only until it opened to public in February. Now, since 2021, it has been an independent company by Jay Grader, who I mentioned earlier, as its CEO. It currently has about 18 million users. Graber posted recently that the platform is growing by 10,000 users every 10 to 15 minutes. Now, while Blue Sky remains small compared to established online spaces, it has emerged as an alternative for those looking for different mood and less influence by ex-owner Elon Musk, a close ally of President-elect Donald Trump. Says here, okay, this is reported by CBS News, and it asks the question, why is Blue Sky growing? It says here, the sign-up surge when Trump announced that he would tap billionaires Musk and Vivek to be a part of his second administration, co-leading the new Department of Government Efficiency. Musk Super PAC also spent around $200 million supporting Donald Trump 2024 election campaign. Now, Musk has only been the owner of X since 2022 and rebranded it as, well, it was Twitter at the time, and he rebranded it as X in July of 2023. He has implemented changes to the company, cutting staff and removing protocols that create guardrails on the platform. Now, according to SimilarWeb, an online analytics tool, X experienced peak worldwide deactivations the day after election, which 115,000 web visitors reportedly deleted their accounts in December of 2023. X experienced its second highest deactivation numbers after Musk restored conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Yeah, the Alex Jones that questioned saying Sandy Hook wasn't real. Yeah, that Alex Jones, the guy that continues to lose everything. I think he just lost Infowars, and that got bought out by the Onion from an auction. I mean, he still continues to run his mouth like the insane individual that he is. Okay. Uh he had, let me see, about 65, it says here, after he brought back Alex Jones, on the platform. About 65,000 users deleted their accounts after that occurred. a Brazilian judge banned X in South America country in the South America country in late August, which also caused a mass migration of users to other platforms, according to the Associated Press. Now, Blue Sky reported that it gained a 500,000 new users from August 28th to August 30th, just prior to the suspension. So that is one to be on the lookout. Again, Blue Sky. I'm gonna mention just other folks who has left. Target left they deleted their X accounts. So Target, United Health Group, Playbill, and media companies like NPR and The Guardian has announced that they are leaving X. Several other prominent accounts, as I mentioned earlier, New York University professor and historian Ruth Ben-Ghiat, Stephen King, Gabrielle Union, Don Lemon, Jamie Lee Curtis, and so many other folks with large followings has announced that they will be leaving the platform. So I'll be honest, it hasn't affected me and my brand at all. I'm always been a careful person what I post out. Yes, I'm very opinionated. Yes, I don't care what how people take my opinion or my take on certain things, because hey, we agree to disagree. I have a lot of friends that we agree to disagree. I hope you all, the listeners, the viewers out there, we can still be friends and learn how to agree to disagree, right? But we're just here to have a conversation, okay? A conversation. But there's certain things on that I do share on my social media platforms. But again, I don't make it to offend anybody, and I'm a big proponent of that. And so yeah, so look, I hope to be on there forever, as long as however they allow me. If they see something that they don't like, and they'll let me know, hey, take that down. Hey, look, I'm not going to debate nothing. I'll just be like, hey, look, that's cool, but I am gonna explore and make sure that you can see us in all avenues. We want to make sure that the world knows the Arrington Gavin Show, y'all, because guess what? All we need is just to have a conversation. We just need to have a conversation and kick back and chillax and just ease off a little bit. You know what I mean? There's so much stress happening in our world, so that's where I come to play with the Arrington Gavin Show. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let me digress from that convo, my friends. Look, we're gonna take another quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You are tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back.
Just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your host with not the most, Arrington Gavin. Thank you so much for staying with us. So, look, on our next conversation, look, Barstool Sports possibly becoming the next ESPN. So, for those who are unfamiliar of Barstool Sports, let me go ahead and kind of give you a quick backstory on what Barstool is and just a little bit about them. So give me a second, let me pull that up. Barstool Sports is in um a blog website with a digital media company headquartered in New York City that publishes sports journalism and pop culture related content. Now it's owned by David Portnoy, who is a character in his own right. He's very, very vocal. He's a personality. He's very edgy at sometimes as well. He founded the company in '03 in Massachusetts, and it's been going on since. Very successful. Let's just see here. I'm trying to pick up some highlight uh moments of the company. Started in 23. In August 2011, the site received criticism over nude photos of American football quarterback Tom Brady's. Wow. That's I will I won't go into fully what that was, but that was one of their moments where they became very viral and really facing huge backlash. Let's see here. Long story short, I won't go into much, but they eventually started a huge audience through not just their website, but they also have a in radio with Sirius XM as well as podcasts. They've have a lot of famous names who has hosted their own podcast on there. Like, let me see, the blogger person athletes. Deion Sanders, Alex Rodriguez, Josh Richards, Ryan Whitney, Kobe Armstrong, Patrick Beverly, Arian Foster. Let's see, Jamie Duke, so many more folks. Also in 2018, says here Barstool Sports purchased the Call Her Daddy podcast hosted by Alex Cooper and Sophia Franklin, which Cooper then took to Spotify in 2020. So they have some major heavyweights out of there, notable former employees that came from Barstool Sports. Pat McAfee, who I know you guys know who the hell that is, former NFL punter, host of the Pat McAfee Show, very successful podcast and show now on ESPN, which is kind of ties into this conversation. Also, he commentator with WWE, Alex Cooper. Kat Tiff was a political commentator. Kat is a regular on the Gunfell Show. Jenna Marbles, Dallas Brandy. Let's see, Paul. AJ Hawk. So many more. Now Josh Gruden. John Gruden? Excuse me. So let me go ahead and read you this article reported by frontofficesports.com. And it says that the fact of the matter is that they are truly starting to turn more into another ESPN. So a lot of people that has either come from ESPN are going to Barstool. But here's the thing. Now ESPN is starting to turn into more like a Barstool as being kind of edgy, because ever since ESPN brought in Pat McAfee, a lot of people were saying, how is that going to work out? Because the Pat McAfee Show, if you're not true fans like myself, who subscribed to the YouTube channel. I remember when he first started mainly on YouTube, then he went to podcasting, and he was on this platform. I think he worked with FanDuel, Sirius XM. He was everywhere. Pat has always been, edgy and raunchy, especially in the mouth. And so when you go to ESPN, ESPN is owned by ABC. ABC is owned by who? The mouse. Mickey Mouse, that is. Disney owns ABC. Disney owns ESPN. So they're like, okay, ESPN, you got to still be family friendly. Like, I understand you commentating on sports and this and that and the other, but how successful Pat McAfee is, the fact that they brought him in, and he doesn't just host his own show, he hosts the college game day pre-show every weekend, every Saturday as well. And he's very, again, raunchy. So it's like, wow, look at the shift, how it's happening. Um, just the other day, it was announced that Barstool will be signing on, bringing on Josh Gruden, who it's been a while since we've heard from Josh Gruden. So if you don't recall, Josh Gruden, former NFL head coach, Super Bowl winning head coach. He won with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he retired from that, became an ESPN, one of the ESPN's highest paid talents, by the way. He returned back to coaching. I think he signed like $100 million contract. Fired after what, maybe 2-3 seasons, maybe. I can't recall how long his comeback was, but his money was guaranteed. But the reason why he had to resign was because leaked emails in which he used misogynistic, racist, and anti gay language. Gruden's latest venture is now Barstool personality. In another sign that the independent media company wants the further thing from what ESPN embodied, has slowly become more like the worldwide leader in sports, and that's very true. And that was a quote from Michael McCarthy. Now it says here that John Gruden's hire showcases the blurred Barstool ESPN lines and I'll just read a little bit of this because I'm looking at my time. It says here, when ESPN canceled the Barstool Van Talk late night show in 2017, Barstool Sports founder David Portnoy predicted his rebel outfit would become the next ESPN. And guess what? 7 years later, he looks President Form for now in scale. Barstool is becoming more like an ESPN, while ESPN is becoming more like a Barstool. Their parallel universes collide. Once again, recently when Barstool hired former ESPN Monday Night Football analyst John Gruden to a multi-year deal. Now, Gruden once paid talent at ESPN, eventually earning about $6.5 million a year. Towards the end of a stint that lasted from 2009 to 2017. Meanwhile, former Barstool host Pat McAfee is now on one of the biggest stars in ESPN. As I mentioned before, I don't need to backtrack what I had said. Hosting his own weekday show, starring on College Game Day. Like Gruden before him, McAfee is now one of ESPN's highest paid talents, licensing his show for $17 million per year. Holy. The 37-year-old former punter appeals to the younger audience who likes Barstools. All legacy media companies are struggling to attract younger readers and viewers. That's why McAfee can get away with antics like prompting LSU fans to shout one obscene chant live on air, which he does that all the time in most of the universities. And again, it's relatable, right? FS1, Fox Sports 1, has been one of the most struggling sports networks, in my opinion. Now, I still tune in. I still support. They have great experts on there. I love their shows, but it's hard to compete with ESPN. ESPN, you have the Pat McAfee show, huge pickup. You still have First Take, which is, again, their flagship. That is their bread and butter, most watched sports debate platform in the world, especially on television. Let's see here. Just reading more to see, do I want to before I end it off, they bring up the question why Gruden fits at Barstool. It says here that it helps Gruden and Barstool share the enemy in NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Gruden sued Goodell and the NFL, alleging that the league deliberately leaked anti-gay, racist, and misogynist emails to destroy his coaching career. Barstool's Portnoy occupy their own rung on the NFL's unofficial ish list. Obviously, it's not ish list, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to insinuate here. Who can forget NFL security dragging Portnoy, who was wearing a Bobby Valentine Esquest fake mustache to disguise himself out of the 2019 Super Bowl. Then it says, I think Gruden still wants to coach. It's hard to know how long he stays with Barstool now. I'll be honest. It's more enjoyable to become a sports analyst or just have your own show. I mean, look at the Manny brothers. More great personalities on the network, right? It's genius how they have their, even, they're on their ESPN Plus. They're on that app. Then they have their own shows during games, and it's like live coverage, reaction coverage. I enjoy it. Same in the WNBA, they have the same thing. So it's dope concepts that ESPN is bringing on. But I just thought that was cool, and I want to bring that up with you guys because we've seen how, because I enjoy Barstool, right? Barstool is hilarious in my opinion. They, again, combining pop culture, sports, I think it's two of the most interesting and more money, what's the word I'm looking for? It really attracts a huge audience because the audience is built up of fans of pop culture, because so much stuff can happen. So much is involved in pop culture, and then so many of us love sports. So you bring them together. I think it's a dope concept. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and digress from this and then move it on. What do we have? What do we have next in our conversation? I thought this was interesting. This was pretty fun. One of my favorite actors of all time, is probably number one favorite actor of all time, Denzel Washington, who recently has said that he is going to be retiring pretty soon. So he's, putting out his bucket list of projects and films that he wants to do before he, gives his final, movie performance for all you supporters out there. He's recently starred in the Gladiator 2, which I believe is currently out now. My wife and I, we were planning on seeing that. And then it was also, I don't know if it was rumored or if it was announced that he will be starring in the next Black Panther movie, which I'm like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. So says here, because Denzel is very vocal. He's not hesitant to hold stuff back, which, hey, I don't blame him. I'm glad he's, but he always does it with class and grace. Amazing family. His son's a great actor, John David Washington. His wife was a former actress, but she works mainly behind the scenes in film and theater. Recently, Denzel gave his thoughts on politics, and he this quote says, "Better realize you're being manipulated by both political sides. Both political sides." Where's my applause button? Thank you, Mr. Washington. Finally, somebody gets it. Somebody gets it. Jeez Louise. Let me read this more in the content, y'all. It's reported by Variety. Says here that Oscar-winning actor Denzel Washington recently spoke out about American politics and how people need to be aware of the ongoing manipulative tactics used by both parties. In an interview with the Sunday Times, editor Jonathan Dean quoted a line from Gladiator 2, the upcoming Ridley Scott sequel that Washington stars in. Empires fall, so do emperors. He noted that the phrase felt relevant to the current political landscape after the election. And I quote, it says here, it's so easy to stand outside America and say this and that, Washington said in response. Turn around, pick a country, anyone. Washington continues saying it's all politics, all promises unkept. And now, with information age the way it is, if anything, left, right, whatever, had better learned how to use those tools to manipulate the people. There was a great line in the first movie I did in 1981's Carbon Copy. Power to the people. Yeah, they had it once. It was called the Stone Age. Oh my gosh. He then went on to add, we're all slaves to information now. We really are. We're all slaves. So, whatever you feel about the leaders, like this guy's crazy, or the other one in, oh, oh, here we go. The other one. So, hold on, my tablet froze on me, y'all. My bad. One is saying you better realize you're being manipulated by both sides, period. Washington ended the thought by saying, yeah, so go to the movies. Man, well said, Mr. Washington. Well said, because it is so true. People are glued to what they see on TV. They stay in one bubble and say, okay, this is the only news I'm going to get. I'm only going to get the news from this media network, and that is it. Right? It's so quick to get distracted, and it's so easy to be misinformed too. And that's the difficult part that occurs in our society. So I hats off to Denzel Washington for saying that, because guess what, y'all? I've been saying it on the show for so many times. So many times. It's all being manipulated. All sides are full of it. All sides are full of it. Now, that's not saying that all people within those political parties are bad people, but you have leadership, you have the seniorship, you have bad apples that know how to really take advantage of the system, take advantage of the game. And then it's sometimes there's leaders out there that says, well, look, I don't know if I have that kind of power to really speak against them. If not, I'm gonna get blackballed, right? And that's unfortunate, because I mean, hey, it's you want them to stand up for for what they believe in, because a lot of people put the faith in bringing them into office. But being blackballed does happen. It does. A lot of people in the film and TV industry, a lot of people in all industries can get blackballed. But again, I appreciate Denzel with his platform, his credit list. He's a true legend. And to say that after one of the most historic elections that we just had, I mean, I think it was well said, really important. And yeah, I'm glad he said it, y'all. What's your thoughts? Leave us a comment. If you're watching this video on our YouTube page or on Rumble, leave us a comment. Give us your thoughts on that, on what Denzel had to say about both sides are manipulating people. I again, if you don't agree with them, then have you ever seen attack ads during the like attack commercials during the election season? Come on now, why do they continue to do that? Because they want to manipulate your vote on saying, okay, this person's bad, vote for me, and we're going to be good. That's literally like what they, why they have those attack ads. So genius. I appreciate it, Denzel. I'm gonna look at what time. Okay, let's see. I might have time to share maybe one or two more convos. Let's see here. Ah, man, I got a few more, but anyway, let me go ahead and let me bring up this, because we're gonna stay in the we like to stay in politics. This right here I thought was an interesting story. It says that a U.S. cruise, a U.S. cruise is wanting to help you all out as far as recover for the next 4 years, especially for those who are anti-Trump supporters. Now, again, a lot of folks are going a little too overboard with this whole, election. I understand how you feel about the guy. I'm not a fan of him either, but I just think that you're overreacting just a mention. But hey, you got businesses that want to take advantage and, make that money. So let's see here. Let me go ahead and pull this yes, there we go. So, as you see, I pulled up U.S. cruise ship offers 4-year getaway for residents wanting to skip Trump's second term. Now, I can understand if they said, hey, look, we're going to have a cruise ship on inauguration day, but the whole damn term, are you out of your mind? there's been folks saying, hey, look, I'm already got my passport. I'm moving out of the country. I'm moving to Canada, or I'm moving here and there and this and that. And some folks, some people have probably started, and some is all just blowing hot smoke. They're just it's all talk, no action. Um, again, we've lived through a Trump term before. Could this be worse or could this be better? Honestly, we would never know. But just by the looks of his cabinet picks, I will say, it's going to be interesting. That's what I want to say. It will be interesting because he has named people, in my opinion, who shouldn't have that kind of access or power with information, especially people that are representing our country. You have like Vivek Ramaswamy, you have Matt Gates' name up there, you have Huckabee, Mike Huckabee. It's just you have individuals up there, Pete Hegseth. The list goes on and on of folks. I'm just like, okay, this is getting kind of interesting. But let me read this more into context. It says here that a Florida-based cruise company is giving folks an escape route if they're not feeling President Trump's second term. Villa V Residence offers a 4-year escape to 140 plus countries starting at $40,000 per year. Stops include the Caribbean, South America, the Amazon, the Carnival in Rio, with perks like all meals, Wi-Fi, medical visit, and housekeeping. CEO Michael Peterson says that the campaign isn't political. It's about offering an escape for anyone who feels threatened. Now, Mr. Peterson, to say this campaign is not political is a crock. Is really a crock of bull. Because for one, those who feel threatened, I mentioned earlier, there's people that are getting their passports and they're leaving the country. And I understand. I've spoken with folks from the LGBTQ IA plus community who feels extremely threatened. They're scared for their life. There's other minorities that are fearful of this upcoming election. I understand where the fear could come from, because hearing this individual speak, you're like, whoa, I cannot take this man seriously. And then also, come on, the Madison Square Garden rally, that definitely didn't help at all. But at the end of the day, he won the election by a freaking landslide. He not only won his election, but guess what? The Republican Party as a whole, they end up taking the House and the Senate. So obviously it's a small group of people in comparison. If we're going to do polling and stats, they're all not on boat. They're not all like as freaking out. They might be furious, they might be upset, they might not want to hear this man speak because he just aggravates them, or they might not agree with his politics, but it's like, hey, look, he's in office there. Let's see what's going to occur. And I think that's why why people are fearful, because I kind of answered my own question while I'm speaking, or just this came across my mind. I don't think they're mainly fearful of Donald Trump. They're fearful of literally it being a red wave taking over the country. I think that's why a lot of people feel threatened, and as they should, because look, if it was a blue wave that was over the running the country, I'm a person, I believe in great balance. I believe it, either have it 50-50, or it just needs to be a great balance of mixed views and opinions. Because at the end of the day, I feel as though we're trying to get to the same finish line, right? We're trying to get to the finish line, but we just have different steps on trying to get there. That's just me. But to say that this getaway is not political, you literally just said, for those who feel threatened, for those who are not a fan of Donald Trump's who's not a fan of Donald Trump and can't last for a second term, hey, look, let's make some money. Let's come on this cruise for 4 years straight. 4 years. Can you imagine living on a cruise for 4 years? I would lose my mind. Like I said, the max I've done is 7 days, and literally on like day 6, I'm like, all right, I'm getting ready to come home now. I'm ready to be on land. I'm ready to just drive my car somewhere. I want to be home. So 14 years, yeah, I don't know how I can function that. But I mean, the smart thing is you have all you can eat, all you can drink, medical visits, housekeeping. I mean, that's good living right there. That's good living. That is good living. But I do think people are overreacting with this whole election. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. What's your thoughts, my friends? What's your thoughts? Would you pass up on this offer? Would you accept um going on a or take this? Would you take this offer? Would you go on a cruise for 4 years during Trump's term? Do you reject it? Do you think that no, I would never do it for you? I mean, the fact that they're offering this is insane. And then on top of that, being a Florida-based cruise company, because hey, look, Florida is Trump's country. That is his home turf. Well, New York really is his home turf, but that has been, he doesn't really accept New York like he accepts Florida, right? Where you are talking about a man who spray tans, usually have a lot of makeup, has a Mar-a-Lago is his home, and golfs and this and that. He loves the weather, and he like Florida is his. That's what he loves most. But the fact that it's a Florida-based company that is offering this is pretty interesting. I will say pretty interesting. Let me make sure I did not leave anything out. Okay, it says here that the cruise line offered the following named trips: 1 year escape from reality, 2 year midterm selection, 3 year everywhere but home, 4 year skip forward. That's actually pretty interesting. Says here the journey will hit 425 ports across 140 countries. Villa V Odyssey will first spend a month in the Caribbean before venturing out on a 4-month trip to South America, including 2 Panama Canal transits, 2 world wonders, the Chilean fjords, and Antarctic sail by Carnival in Rio, and 8 days in the Amazon River. Interesting. That's all I can say, y'all. Interesting. I really have a brain fart on this. I just think that once again, this is I thought I thought some folks could be overreactive. I think they're really, really, really like, I'm not happy. I need to leave. Well, hey, at the end of the day, America has spoken. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. Let's see. It looks like y'all, I'm coming up on my time. But yeah, I don't have time. It's I have probably two. You know what? The next conversation that I was gonna share with you all, I will share on the next show. But as always, I always appreciate you guys taking the time out your busy schedule to chop it up with me here on the program. Thank you so much for all your constant support. I told you I had some great news that I wanted to announce, and the great news is that the Arrington Gavin show has been nominated for Best Podcast in the 2024 Blendsville's Awards this year. Truly honored. It was an award that I was nominated before, but actually with a different podcast. My fam over with In Your City, which is a weekly podcast that I do with my friends. And so after I received the news, I was very honored. So again, look, the news is that we have been nominated. The Arrington Gavin Show has been nominated. Our first ever award, y'all. We've been nominated for Best Podcast for the 2024 Blendsville Award. So truly honored and blessed on the opportunity. My friends, be sure to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays, 11 p.m. on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk, as well as all digital and streaming platforms. Y'all take care. God bless. I will see you next time, my friends.